This is the remaining inventory of CDs and a few cassettes of Piano Mania music. I'll be doing a little more in the video here to tell you who and what that is and what's going on. But for my loyal subscribers in the vinyl community, I'm offering free CDs. So stay tuned to watch it, and I'll show you a few of the CDs that are available. Dozens of different artists, and here is probably 2,000 or 3,000 CDs. If you don't take them, most of them will just be going to the dump.
He's been a fixture in the Murray Street Mall for decades. Pianist John Gil entertaining all who walk by with his honky-tonk tunes on his grand old piano. Sadly, John Gil passed away suddenly a few days ago. At 57, he was widely regarded as one of the world's best jazz and ragtime pianists and was about to embark on an American tour.
Oh, hey, vinyl community, did you know that I recorded and produced over 35 CDs of some of the best early ragtime jazz and blues pianists in the world? I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. John Gil from Perth, Western Australia. I recorded the High Society CD for him in the fall of 2009, where he was the featured performer at the Sacramento Ragtime Festival. About 3 months later, I got a call from a family member telling me that he had died of a heart attack. This CD is available. From 1989, kind of the beginning of the CD era for me, until 2014, I recorded and produced or co-produced over 35 CDs, many on my own label, Piano Mania Music, some for bigger labels and some for individual artists. Yes, this RTI produced many of my early CDs, most of my early CDs. Back then, I recorded a DAT tape. I sent it to RTI, where they mastered it for me and then had the CDs produced. Back then, they didn't have any printing facilities in-house, and so we had to have all the stuff printed locally. Then we shipped that to them, and then they assembled the final product and shipped it to me with these labels in these kinds of boxes. I would call my agent at RTI when I was placing an order or wanted to reorder more product. Often we'd have a good little chat what was going on with the music business, and later on, quite regularly, he would tell me about they had started pressing records. One time I called him, he said, "Long time no talk to you." I said, "I need some more product." He said, "All we're doing now is making vinyl records. We're not making any more CDs." And you all know the rest of the story. I met John Gil in Sedalia, Missouri in 1995 at the Scott Joplin International Ragtime Festival. After that festival was over, he traveled to my house in California, where we spent 3 or 4 days doing the first recording of 4 that I did for him. So let's have a little sample of him playing James P. Johnson's Jingles at that festival. Back about 26 years ago, the New York Times music critic published an article talking about the 3 best pianists in the world performing at that time. 2 of the pianists were classical pianists. I don't remember their names. The third one was Morten Gunnar Larsen from Oslo, Norway, whom I had already did a CD for. Then he went on to do the off-Broadway show Jelly Roll, where they won the Obie for that, and the music was faithful to Jelly Roll Morton, where the Broadway show Jelly Roll was not. Here is a recording that Morton did in his native country of Norway that was done before he recorded for me. This is one of his best CDs. I highly recommend you get it. One of the neat things here was he put me in contact with Mr. Herman of Herman Records, and I shipped thousands of my CDs to Norway where he could distribute, and he shipped thousands of this CD to me where I could distribute, and that was especially convenient for Morton, so when he was doing concerts in this country, he could just send me an email where to ship some CDs for him to sell, and I would take care of that. You just heard a little of Jelly Roll Morton's Perfect Sporting House Rag. This CD is available. In 1995, I recorded this CD, a Ragtime Primer, Volume 1, an introduction to the basic styles of ragtime performed by ragtime's leading pianists. We have 22 tracks on this CD, performed by 12 different pianists, some of the top pianists in the world performing this type of music. Using different pianists to play the different pieces made the different styles a little more distinctive than when one person plays them all. I've sold lots of these CDs over the years, quite a few of them to libraries, so if you'd like to have one, these are still available. Included in this package is a 36-page booklet, which is like a College 101 class in ragtime. Richard Zimmerman, a leading scholar, gives an introduction to the time period in the music, and Trevor J. Titchener, one of its best proponents, discusses the music, so it makes the music more interesting, especially for those of you who would like to learn a little more about ragtime. I built this website myself in the early 90s. I have it copyrighted from 89 on. The address you see here, P.O. Box 508, Loomis, California, 95650, is still good, and if you want to get some of these CDs for free, that's the address you can use. Now, that phone number is not Piano Mania's phone number anymore, and also down there you can see my email address. You can email me. Now, I'll tell you, if you go to pianomania.com, you may get warning signs that it could be bad. That's because I had to recover my website here fairly recently when I found out the company that was hosting it had went out of business and my website was gone. We had to recover from website archive site. Links are missing, pages are missing, but you can get a little flavor of the website if you want to. In what was originally the dining room in my house, I converted it into a recording studio and used it as that for many years. Later on, when, we hate to say it, digital became common and relatively inexpensive, I got a high-quality 4-channel system, studio-quality mics. I did all the recording, all the editing. I mastered the final CD and then would ship it off for reproduction. The piano was a high-quality concert Yamaha C7 7-foot 6-inch piano, which had an outstanding tone. I used Apple's Logic program for recording and editing. My label appears on Discogs, although I have not entered any of these items or had anything to do with it. I should go online and bring it up to date and enter all the things and put the information in there. Maybe I'll get around to it. I recorded Jim and Martha Hessian in the early 90s. Jim was a protege of Eubie Blake, and his wife was a professional trained singer. This CD is half piano solos and half her doing American Songbird standards with him playing the piano, and it is available. The reason for the poor covers that we used back in the early 90s, color printing was extremely expensive, and in small quantities you just could not afford to do it. Jim and Martha played for many years in Disneyland in Southern California. They were very popular. And then when they built Disneyland in Florida, Walt Disney sent them to Florida and give them living expenses for 3 or 4 years to help open that park.
My baby said goodbye in the evening when the lights are low. I'm so lonesome I could cry, 'cause there's no one here to talk to me. I'm just as blue as can be. Always get that moon in indigo. Silver, my baby said goodbye.
Here, jazz pianist Ray Scalbred plays the music of Kansas City Frank Melrose. This is a little different style of music, kind of related to jug band on the piano. You'll love it. Some consider David Thomas Roberts America's leading composer today, myself included. Here he plays early tangos, the new ragtime. This includes old tunes and some of his original compositions. Try it. 57 Different Kinds of Blues, Volume 1. This CD is not available. It was sold out long ago, but here I have 10 different pianists performing rare, early blues compositions, the kind that you have rarely heard. I did see a few copies for sale fairly cheap on eBay, so you might try that, but that leads into the next CD. 10 years later, in 2006, here is Volume 2 of 57 Different Kinds of Blues, Prairie Blues. Here there are 13 different outstanding pianists performing music more related to barrel house and boogie and how that developed. Another great informative recording. I recorded 2 CDs for the UK's Neville Dickey, one of their top pianists for many, many years. These are in very small supply. Carl Sonny Leyland is one of the top boogie-woogie blues pianists in the world today. This Back in the Valley CD is very limited. He was born in the UK, and then as a young person, they moved to New Orleans. Now he lives in Central California, and he's playing somewhere almost every night. He plays all kinds of music with different kinds of groups and solo. In 2014, I recorded this CD for Sonny, and it's in short supply. Here fairly recently, he came by my house and cleaned out most of my remaining inventory, but I did keep a couple handfuls for those of you that love boogie-woogie, barrel house, and blues. That's just a few of the CDs, and if you're interested, drop me an email. In case you missed it, the email was at 8:16 in the video. Let me know a couple of the CDs that you would like, and I'll be happy to send them to you as VCLT. In case there's a rare chance that there's a couple of you out there that's into this music like I am, kick in the postage and I'll send you a whole box. The picture here is John Gil, me sitting at my record position. My sister Nancy and Jelly Roll Morton is showing his approval there in the background. So I say keep 'em spinning and see you all down the trail.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.